All right, can you see us? Hey, you gotta get more in here.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
There you are.
There we go. All right, there's a bit of a delay for us, but hopefully we can get through this. So welcome to our Family Info Night. It's a little bit odd because we're live streaming here and we're not in a room with all of you. So it's different. Please be patient with us. This is the first time we're doing this. So I hope everything goes well. If there's any problems like you can't hear us, too loud, too quiet, go ahead and use the live chat to the right of the screen and type in anything there. And you can also ask us questions throughout as well. So I think before we get into anything else, we'll say a prayer that this all goes well. So if you'd like to join me in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly Father, you are our host, our giver, our creator. We wouldn't be here without you, and we give you all the thanks and praise for this moment, for our ability to gather together in a different way. And we thank you for all of the students and the families joining us this year. I pray that you give us hope and you give us reassurance as we move forward into the world and into unknown times. And I would also like to ask for our Mother Mary to pray for us, to intercede for us, and watch over us. And so I pray, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. Awesome. Okay, so I guess to get started, we'll introduce ourselves. Some of you guys might know us. Some of you might not. I'll put up our little names here. So my name is Caitlin Rather. I am the youth minister. This is actually my second year being the youth minister, my first year in charge. Last year we had the DRE kind of be over the whole religious ed program from kindergarten through high school. This year it's not like that. We're in charge of high school ourselves. So be patient with us through that as well. I am from a small town called Shawano, Wisconsin. It's about 30 minutes west of Green Bay. Born and raised there. I'm a small town girl, huge Packer fan. And I moved to Milwaukee in 2014 for school. I went to UWM, and I graduated in 2018 with a film degree. And I'm working at a church now. So I am able to use my degree actually more now with COVID and doing more virtual things and filming videos. We just did a confirmation rehearsal video. So, you know, God has taken me here, and I'm glad to be here, and I'm excited for this year. Even though it's going to be different, I'm really looking forward to it. Aaliyah.
Thanks. So, for those of you who I haven't had the pleasure to meet yet, my name is Aaliyah Taylor, and this is my 2.5 year with the religious ed program. I came in halfway through the year when Emily Schaefer, or Emily Lynn, was with us in the program. I moved to Milwaukee in 2012 for school, and I graduated, took a gap year, just finished my master's last year, and was, lucky to find the opportunity to help out as the admin assistant throughout this time. Yeah,
That's it.
that's it.
That's us. We also, our roommates, Aaliyah, just moved in this summer. So if you see one of us, the other one's around somewhere. So before we dive in to kind of what we're going to be talking about tonight, I just kind of want to explain the folder system. So we delivered folders to people's houses who registered by September 15th. If you didn't register by that time, don't worry, we'll have folders made for you, and you can pick them up in your parish office. Each folder is color-coded by grade. So 9th grade is yellow, 10th grade will be blue or like a turquoise, and 11th grade confirmation is red. All the information is the same for 9th and 10th grade, except they're going to be on different lesson plans and what else? The different Edmodo pages, which we'll get to in a little bit. Okay, so in the folder, if you don't have your folder, don't worry, we have kind of screenshots that we'll share with you right now tonight. So you can just follow along through that, and I'll pull it up right now. So in our folder, we have the handbook. I have a little cursor here that I might use, that's that red arrow. So you'll find the handbook, and this will just go over the program and some more details and what is expected of both student and parent. And on the bottom of the first page here, it just says our mission, and it's to provide every high school student in our parishes the opportunity to experience a personal relationship with our Lord, and in that relationship with Him, to discover the richness of our Catholic faith and learn to live as His disciples. So we'll go on to page 2 here. Page 2 is just our contact information for all of you. You can see the first is me, Caitlin, and that is my cell phone number. I would actually prefer if you call me or text me at that number, just because it's not guaranteed which office I'm in, either at St. Robert or Holy Family. And even during COVID, I've been working from home a few days a week. So feel free to call or text me or send me an email at that email. And then Aaliyah, she'll be probably sending you a lot of emails. So you might recognize her email already, taylora@hfparish, and then that is her office phone number there. Anything else to add?
Yeah, so one note with the office number right there with the extension 151, there is some slight discussion of I'm moving offices just a little bit down the hall. So if you do need to reach me, preferably through email, that way I can also keep track of it. Just as Caitlin said, we're kind of working from home a little bit during this time. But if you do call, I will do my best to get back to you from the Holy Family Parish phone.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And then anyone who has any questions for the K3 through 8th grade religious ed, Betsy Deacon is the person to contact over there. She is right now working with Holy Family. Currently, we are searching for a DRE for St. Robert K through 8th. So if you're from St. Robert and you have questions for that, I would still contact Betsy. She's more than likely to welcome St. Robert families into the Holy Family program as of now. I know this year they are doing totally online, at least for the first semester. Also on this page, if we go down a little bit, we have the parish office addresses. Let me get my cursor. Right here, Holy Family and St. Robert. So we might ask you to drop off things like your checks or, mail them in. And there's drop boxes outside of both. So just so you guys know where those are, if you've never been, the Holy Family one is kind of by the chapel in between the church and the school. And the St. Robert office is off of Farwell. It's like between the church and the parking lot. And the St. Robert office is like glass doors. It also says JP2 House. So it's a bit hard to find, but if you have any questions, just let me know. Okay, and then we have our website here, hsreligiousad.weebly.com. On your website, Aaliyah, why don't you explain what they can find on the website?
Yeah, so the religious education website is the hub for all of our classes. On the main page, it is mainly the most current and relevant announcements. The calendar will be uploaded soon after tonight. And then along the navigation bar, it is split into 2 tabs. One is for 9th and 10th grade, and the other is for the confirmation year. And there are also a number of tabs as well. So feel free to explore those. Yeah, so basically the website is the hub for all information there.
And the reason we have our own separate website is because we are a combined program between the 2 parishes. So it's just easier than going to either of the St. Robert or Holy Family websites just to go to one place and find all the information. There should be links on the 2 separate websites to this our personal website. And then over here, you guys are here already on our YouTube page. Make sure to just subscribe, and it will notify you with any video uploads. We might use this for lessons or special video contests, just some fun things. And we'll definitely share the link with you through other socials or the mailers. And then we have our Facebook page here. And this will have, of course, more updates and some interaction.
Yeah, so I can interject real quick. One fun thing with the religious education Facebook page is that we do share it with the K through 8th as well. So if you have children in any of these grades, it's another nice hub to find information. And if you would like to explore that as well, you can see a few videos of the confirmation year teens, so you can kind of get an idea of what the year will be like in the future.
Right, yeah, we post, all of our announcements, and then we did live stream our confirmation masses this week. So it's just kind of a catch-all for communicating with the greater St. Robert and Holy Family community. And then lastly, we have our Instagram over here. Currently, I think we have 3 subscribers, with me being 1. So it's definitely still growing. And so I want to really urge the students to kind of use this platform to interact with us, because I know many don't have Facebook pages. One thing to note is that we will not follow students back, so they don't have to worry about, having their religious ed teachers looking at their pages and things. It's just for a way for us to communicate with them and not the other way around. And then lastly on this page, we have just how do I enroll. If you aren't enrolled in the program yet, you can go to our website and or contact Aaliyah via email, and we'll get you a link to our online registration, or we can get you a copy of our paper registration.
Right, so on that, in regards to that topic, if you do go to the website, there is a special tab right up there at the top that says register for 2020 and 21. But if you're having trouble or any technology issues, please, like Caitlin said, feel free to reach out to us, and we'll definitely help you get squared away for the year.
Awesome. Okay, so the next page, let me scroll up here. So we're just going to kind of go over the program and who's it for, first off. So our program for 9th and 10th grade is for teens to enroll in religious education if they want to ask questions, get answers, and grow in their Catholic faith. Teens who do not attend a Catholic high school or receive homeschool Catholic formation, so their parents or grandparents give them Catholic formation, must enroll in our religious ed program for 9th and 10th grades to prepare for confirmation in the 11th grade. So there was a bit of confusion out there. I know I sent out some emails and I forgot to include this part, but if your 9th or 10th grader does attend a Catholic school, they do not have to be in our program. They're more than welcome to join us. It's a great way to, meet other kids in your grade, but you are not required to do that. And then any teen who wants to receive confirmation in our parishes must enroll in confirmation their 11th grade year. Some people have asked, I didn't enroll my teen in 9th grade year, and they're joining now in 10th grade. That is totally fine. Just let us know and we can let you know what they need to do to catch up. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Okay, what to expect. So this year is different than any year before. Our lessons are going to be shared at the first of every month on the education platform edmodo.com, and we'll go over that in a little bit. Students will meet once a month in small groups on Sunday or Wednesday evenings for an hour and a half. And then there is also the option for virtual small groups, which we'll go over how to sign up for those in a little bit as well. And our program being used this year is Chosen. This is your Catholic faith. This is actually what we used last year, and I think it works really well, especially now that we are, half online and half in person. What if you miss a class? We understand that this happens. If you know in advance that you're going to be missing a class, please let me or Aaliyah know. It's probably best to let us know instead of your small group leaders because they don't always notify us right away. It would be better to notify them that you're not there. And if an unexpected absence occurs, no problem. We'll just make sure, we take attendance every class, so we'll make sure that we'll contact you with instructions to make up an assignment on what you missed. It'll likely be a small writing assignment. Nothing too bad. We just want to make sure that you are understanding the lessons completely. And just a reminder, if you guys have any questions during this, we can see the live chat, so feel free to type them in. So what is Edmodo.com? Edmodo is actually something that I used in high school for one of my Spanish classes, and it's a free platform. It's basically like a Facebook page for your classes, and then you can have assignments and take quizzes and things like that. So this is how we're going to release our lessons. We'll release them, in a post, and then we'll ask the teens to complete a simple assignment or a quiz before they meet in their small groups, just so we can keep track of the fact that they did go through the lesson online. And it uses a newsfeed style main page, so students and leaders will be able to communicate, update each other. We might do some fun contests on there. And parents are definitely welcome to join our classroom as well. And we'll go over information on how to sign up for both of that. And in a little bit, I'll also kind of show you guys what Edmodo looks like and how to sign up. But that's basically the platform we're going to be using. Okay, so page 4, this goes over Chosen. Chosen is basically a great program that is for confirmation year. What we do in our program is we take the 24 lessons that are supposed to be in your confirmation year, and we kind of split it up throughout the 3 years, so that way we really get through the lessons thoroughly, and it gives us enough time to have fun as well, and bond in community and fellowship. So each lesson has in the book different activities, different readings, and then videos that go along that, a lot of great Catholic speakers are in the videos as well. And as you can see here, we have the 24 topics of, I keep doing that, of the lessons. So, it's easy to catch up if you miss, or if you're joining us a little bit late in the program. We can make sure that, say you have to go through lessons 1 through 7. That's what they did last year. And there's also a student workbook that comes with. Ours actually looks red. This picture is blue, but it will have, all the readings and activities, and really be helpful for working together virtually. And your book will be included in your registration price, your registration fee. But if you lose it and need a replacement, it will be $20. And students are expected to bring the book to class and to small groups with them. And then at the end of this page, just a link if you have any other questions, or you'd like to check out the Chosen program a little bit more. The lesson shouldn't take, more than 1 to 2 hours per week. And again, it's released on the 1st of every month, and then our small groups will meet on the 3rd week every month. So you have probably a week to 2 weeks to complete the lesson before you meet in your small group. Am I missing anything, Aaliyah?
I don't think so. I think one note that I will add that our families can see here on the page is that the book carries over from year to year. So if you're joining us in our 9th grade year, keep it in a safe spot over the summer, because then you'll use it again for the 10th grade year as well as the 11th grade confirmation year. Other than that, I think it is pretty straightforward.
Okay, awesome. So let's go on to the next page here. This is a fun new page that was added this year. COVID safety information for our classes and the times we'll be meeting together in person. Again, if you are electing to be in an online small group, these won't, matter as much. But obviously, safety and health is a top priority for all of our students and volunteers and their families, So as situations change, please be patient with us. We're following the Archdiocese Catholic Comeback Matrix, and right now we're in phase 2, so, things are starting to open up a little bit more with safety precautions in place. So obviously, if we're meeting in person, we're going to be wearing masks and socially distance. Our group, we can't have any group gatherings more than 50. So this is why we are going to meet in only small groups instead of our large group, everyone in the grade. And so the small groups, currently, I believe, for people who have elected to meet in a virtual small group, we have 4 for the 9th grade and none for the 10th grade. So, we'll give you the information as well on how to sign up, and hopefully we'll have enough to, host one for each grade. But if we don't, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to, have our small group leaders lead a small group with just 1 or 2 people in the group. So, we'll definitely be keeping you guys updated on that for sure. I think there's enough for 1 9th grade group so far. Okay, and then retreats. This isn't too important for our 9th and 10th graders since they don't normally go on a retreat. There are some summer opportunities available, and hopefully we can have those, and we'll go over those in a little bit as well. And then lastly, we have optional youth ministry events that are currently on hold, but we'll likely attempt a few outdoor gatherings in the winter that we can, go sledding or ice skating, go on some hikes, something outdoors. And it's, totally optional, but it's a great way to grow in our community and our fellowship. There is also a waiver that is in every folder. And if you are going to join us in person, you must sign and return this COVID consent form. It's provided by the Archdiocese and it's in your folder. And we cannot let you join us until we have it in our hands. So send it with your students the first night and we'll check them off. And let me just show you real quick what it looks like. This is what it looks like here. And we have plenty of copies. We can send it to you in an email if you lose it. And it just goes over the facts, just making sure that everyone is aware of, COVID and safety, and that you're giving us permission to meet in person with your student. Okay, next page. So what you agreed to as a religious ed parent. And we just include this in here. There used to be a commitment that we would have everyone sign and collect. But, just a reminder that our parents are, the first and foremost, the first catechist in your child's life. And, as a religious ed parent, we hope that you are being an example, a role model for your children. You obviously want them to learn the faith because you have them enrolled in our program. So just things like attending Mass every Sunday, asking them about their lessons, praying by yourselves, and holding them accountable for watching the lessons and participating in the groups, urging them to partake in special, youth ministry events and things like that. And of course, if you have any questions about that, please feel free to reach out. I know there's a lot of opportunities between the two parishes for adult small groups. There's been men's groups, women's groups, mothers groups, and we're hoping to, keep offering those if you ever need a place to develop your faith and, get your questions answered. Lastly, something that is not on here is we are always welcoming volunteers, especially parents. We're not doing much right now, but we could always use substitutes for small groups if our small group leaders aren't able to make it. It'd be great to have a parent, sub in because we need at least 2 leaders in each group. So if you're willing to do that, please just shoot us an email and we'll make sure that we get your name on the list. Yeah.
And with regards to that, if you are able to potentially substitute as a small group leader, you're always paired with another adult, like Caitlin said. We share all the lessons and, questions are provided to help facilitate that discussion. So, your presence would be greatly beneficial to, the formation of our teams throughout our program. So please prayerfully consider our request, because it's definitely how our program gets things done with our volunteer base and our small group leaders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, perfectly said, Aaliyah. Okay, and then so what you agreed to as a teen in our program or student in our program, to be prepared to watch all the lessons online well in advance of your small group, not 20 minutes before. That's when you get to college, not in high school. And we'll be able to track your progress through Edmodo, so we can see if you have done the assignment. Bring your chosen book to your small groups and also a Bible, personal Bible. We'll have some extra Bibles if you don't have one, but it would be great to bring your own. And then a pen, a pencil, highlighter, or a notebook to take extra notes. Come to all small group classes. Be on time. So 7 to 8:30 p.m. on Sundays and 6:30 to 8 p.m. on Wednesdays. Participate, ask questions, add to the conversation, get to know someone. Go to Mass with your parents. We have Mass right before class at 5:30 at St. Robert's, and then the other Masses are there. And then we'll also do some challenges online, and that'll be in our Edmodo classroom. So we'll do like Halloween costume contests, snowman building, and more to come. So we have that. And then, sorry, I'm going to rush a little bit because we have like 10 minutes until our confirmation one starts. So sorry about that. On the last page of this book, we have just resources for both teens and parents, some great Spotify playlists, podcasts, and websites if you need. Awesome. So let's move on to our calendar here. This is our first semester for 9th and 10th grade. So our first semester will be meeting at St. Robert. Our second semester will be at Holy Family. We just switch every semester, so that way it's not, either parish isn't favored. And for the first class, we'll let your students know where to go. We'll direct everyone to their spot, and then they'll just meet in that same place each time. So our 9th and 10th graders only meet once a month. And on the calendar, it shows, our lessons are released on the 1st here, and it says which lesson is released. So you can easily find it in your book. Lesson 1 and lesson 18, we kind of skip around sometimes. And then the small groups will meet for an hour and a half. Some have elected to meet on Wednesdays and some and most on Sundays. So actually, I think the numbers I shared before were for Wednesday meetings instead of online meetings. So sorry about that confusion, but so yeah, we have 4 9th graders signed up to meet on Wednesday, and none for 10th graders. So if you do want to meet on Wednesday, please let us know as soon as possible so we can make sure that we get you in the right small group. Next thing is the first lesson. Since none of you have your books yet, some of our 10th graders might, we will photocopy those and share them online, and we'll give you the books at the first small group. If you're meeting virtually, we'll make sure to deliver the books to you. So yeah, don't expect to have your book right away. We just wanted to make sure that we, got everyone registered first, and then we'll order the books and make sure you get them by your first small group. Anything else, Aaliyah? Am I missing anything else?
I don't think so. No, I think you've got it.
Okay. And then here's the second page of our calendar. And we'll go until May just because we are starting in October this year. So there are some breaks. I think there may just be like one Packer game I looked at that might be I think it's during a confirmation thing. So you guys should be in the clear. Okay, so let's go to Edmodo stuff. Okay, we have 9 minutes until we start our confirmation. So if you have any questions, please make sure to put them in the live chat now. So this is what Edmodo looks like. This is my view as a teacher, so it might look a little bit different as a 9th and 10th graders, but you can see over here it's going to have your classes, and it's going to have, you can post like you would on Facebook, and then over on the right here it's going to show your assignments and your quizzes that are due. And for signups, this sheet is also in your folder as well. But for 9th graders, this is your sign-up code. And for 10th graders, this is your sign-up code. So to sign up, all you do is go to Edmodo and you make sure that you can create a login with your email and you get started as a student. Put in your code and it'll have you join the class. I think it has you request me to join and I'll approve you to be in the class. And then for parents, it's the same thing. You just get started as a parent. But to create your account, there's a parent code that will actually be on the bottom of your student's page. This got cut off, and I cannot find a copy that is not cut off. So if any parent, figures out how to find the parent code, let me know. But I'm pretty sure it's once your student gets logged in, then you get a parent code. So if you have any other questions on that, please feel free to reach out. Next is our virtual small group sign up. So as I mentioned, we are offering this option for each grade. Hopefully we'll have enough for each grade to, have a good sized group. But we do need these sign-ups by next Sunday at noon. This will enable us to assign our small group leaders, which we'll be meeting with next week. So there is the link. It's a Google form. Just fill out your child's name, their grade, and then their email that they'll be able to use. And we'll put them in a virtual small group. And the time will likely be at the same time as the other groups are meeting. So Sunday nights, 7 to 8:30, and Wednesday nights, 6:30 to 8. Okay, a few other things real quick. We have, Aaliyah, you can explain these.
I'll give you a break. Okay, so 2 things is, so first up top, we do utilize the Remind messaging application. So you can always be informed and get some of the most important updates, just in case class is canceled due to inclement weather or there are upcoming due dates in the next week or so prior to the first lesson being sent out. I will be sending out invitations to the phone numbers that were submitted at the time of registration. So depending on whether you put mother or father or guardian or both, it'll go to them. And as well, if you share the permissions for us to allow us to text your student. There are 4 groups, 9th and 10th grade, 11th grade confirmation year for the students, and then 2 as well for parents for both of those respective years. Similarly, all of the email addresses and respective which check box you selected, the respective email address will be added to our MailChimp reminder, and every week throughout the year, we send these class mailers that include, again, important updates, upcoming service opportunities, ways to get involved. It will look a little different this year because, extra safety precautions, but we still hope to keep you all informed as much as possible. And for MailChimp, there are 2 different sections, one for the 9th and 10th grade families, and then one for the 11th grade / confirmation year families. And if you are not receiving any of these, check your spam folders or the promotions folder. Sometimes I hear that they get lost there and then they get found a month later. Or if you are unable to find them at all, we understand technology sometimes happens, sometimes they don't come through for whatever reason. Let us know and we will definitely get that squared away, forwarded, and get the right email on there.
Yes, thank you, Leah. Okay, our last thing is just a few save the dates and hopes for next summer. We're hoping to go to Stevenville Conference next summer in July. And this just, gives a little description about it. and we'll definitely be sharing more information the closer we get as far as like how to register, what the cost will be like. And that is just, a weekend trip if you're not, ready to commit to a whole week. And it's great. I used to go to Stevenville conferences in high school. I've been to like 8, and they're amazing. They're life-changing. And it's a great way to get to know a few of your classmates better, and your youth minister, whoever comes along with you. And then we're hoping to bring back the mission trip in 2021. Right now the dates aren't released yet for Alive in You, which is the program that we're going to be going through. So once we do know that, we'll make sure we let everyone know, and we'll give a few options for the teens to vote on which one they want to go to. So of course these are still all up in the air, and we're hoping that we'll be able to do them in the summer. Okay, so we have a few minutes before our confirmation information starts, but does anyone have any questions that we can answer for you? If not, feel free to email us or call us. Aaliyah's trying to hide. And we're more than willing to help you out or answer anything. And, we want to be a resource not only for the kids, but for their families. So if you guys need anything, feel free to reach out to us, and we'll be able to help you out to the best of our ability. So thanks for joining us tonight. And we'll just wait for a few minutes for the next segment to start, for our confirmation teens to start. So I'm going to fade it to black for a second just to rearrange a few things, and we'll be right back.
Thanks for joining us.
Yay! Okay, everyone, welcome. 1 second, we're gonna get started. Hello, if you can all see me. Sorry that we're running a bit behind. We just got done with our 9th and 10th grade info night stream. So if if you're a parent that has kids in both, hello again. If you're joining us just now, welcome. We're sorry that we had to be meeting like this. and we can't all be in a room together, to have discussions and meet each other face to face. But this is how the world is right now, and this is the safe way to do it, which is more important to us than, being in person. So to start off, we'll just do a few introductions. Some of you may know us, some of you may not. My name is Caitlin Rather. I'm the youth minister. And as this is actually my second year as the youth minister. Last year I was kind of just more of a coordinator. I wasn't in charge of the whole thing because we worked under a director of religious ed last year. This year it's restructured differently. So I'm from a small town called Shawano, Wisconsin. It's about 30 minutes west of Green Bay. So I'm born and raised, small town girl. I love the Green Bay Packers. I like to say that I was, born during an ice storm in the shadow of Lambeau Field. Even though I was born in October, it was probably ice storming out. But I moved to Milwaukee in 2014 to go to school at UWM. And in 2018, I graduated with a film degree. And somehow I'm working at a church, so that's just the way, God has led me through life. And I'm really, really happy to be here. I love this job, and I'm so excited for this year. And I will also introduce you to our our youth ministry assistant, Aaliyah.
Hi everyone. For those of you who are new, welcome. My name is Aaliyah, and for those of you we haven't had the pleasure to meet yet, this is my second year and a half with the program. I came in January 2019, when Emily Lynn, or Emily Schaefer, some of you may have known her, was here with our parishes. I moved to Milwaukee in 2012 to attend school at Marquette University. Took a gap year, went to graduate school to study international higher education. And during that time, I was, lucky enough to be working here with our parishes, and, be involved in high school religious education. So it's definitely, like Caitlin said, where the Lord decided that I needed to be at this time. And it's definitely been a great way to find community again, and come back to the church. So, yeah, we're excited. So
we're glad to have you, Aaliyah. Thank you.
Glad to have you, Caitlin.
Okay, yeah, we kind of are. We come in a pair. If you see one of us, the other one's probably around somewhere. So, that's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
So before we kind of get into the information of tonight, I'm sure you have plenty of questions. We have a live chat up on the right of your screen. It looks like we're the only ones that have commented in it so far, so hopefully it's working for everyone. But if you guys have questions throughout, please make sure to type them in there. If there's any issues with the stream, if we're too loud, too quiet, make sure to let us know. And yeah, so just make sure that you're asking questions if you have them. Otherwise, you can always reach out to us afterwards. So we'll be just going through everything that is in our Family Info Night folders. Some of you have gotten your folder. If you registered by September 15th, we delivered them. If you registered after that, we'll make sure that we have a folder available for you to pick up in your respective parish office, either Holy Family or St. Robert. And our folders are color-coded, so confirmation is red, and it'll have your name and your ID number, which we'll go over in a little bit. And if, so yeah, confirmation, red, look for anything red. If your confirmation, if you're in another grade, 9th grade is yellow, 10th grade is blue. So we'll start off with our handbook, our family handbook, which is in your folder. And if you don't have your folder with you, no worries. We have copies that we'll share on the screen so everyone can follow along together. Okay, just let me pull it up here. All right. So, you have to create a channel to participate in the chat. Okay. So, yeah, if you don't have a YouTube channel, apparently you can't participate in the live chat. So sorry about that, but of course, feel free to reach out afterwards with any of your questions, and hopefully we'll go over everything in detail. So this is the handbook. On the first page, it just has our mission statement at the bottom, which is to provide every high school student in our 2 parishes the opportunity to experience a personal relationship with our Lord, and in that relationship with Him to discover the richness of our Catholic faith and to learn and live as His disciples. So on page 2 is just mostly our contact information here. One note is, use our little cursor here. This is my cell phone number and this is my preferred number. Just because it's not guaranteed which office I'm at, and in this time I'm working from home a lot, so feel free to call me or text me at that number, as long as you just include your name, because I might not have your number saved, and always email. I don't have a Holy Family email, I just have a St. Robert one, but feel free to use both. And then Aaliyah, do you?
Yeah, so you've probably received a lot of emails from me at taylor@hfparish.org right there. So that is probably the best way to get a hold of me. The office phone number there is available, and there has also been some discussion. I'm moving down the hallway in the parish office, so the phone line might be going through a little reconstruction there. So email there is probably the best bet to get a hold of me.
Oh, and then I have also included the contact information for K3 through 8th grade religious ed here, Betsy Deacon. She's your go-to lady, and she is currently only supposed to be for Holy Family, but right now we don't have a Betsy counterpart at St. Robert. So I'm sure she's definitely willing if you have kids in K3 through 8th at St. Robert. They're more than welcome to join at Holy Family for the program this year, which is 100% virtual for the start. And then we also have the parish offices right here. This will probably be used to drop off a lot of things, like your checks. I'm sure most of you have sent in your checks to these here, and we'll probably ask for other things to be dropped off if kids aren't able to bring them to us during class. Okay. So further down on this page, we have all of our websites and socials. So our religious ed website is kind of the go-to place for our program to find all of your resources. Since we are a combined program between St. Robert and Holy Family, it's easier to have just one website to go to instead of splitting up the information on both St. Robert and Holy Family websites. So there should be a link to this website in each of St. Robert and Holy Family websites, but yes. And then Aaliyah, do you want to explain a little bit more? Oh, she's answering your questions.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
About the website, yeah.
So as Caitlin has begun to share with you all, the high school religious ed website is the hub for our program. The main page has the most important and current updates. So if you have missed something or are just curious about things that are going on, please feel free to check that out. We did restructure it, so I don't want to brag, but it looks really cool. And then along the top in the navigation bar, there is a respective section for the confirmation year. If you click on that main button, it will bring you to the section hub for that class year, and then there's also another button for the retreat, which we will talk more about later. Additional buttons along that navigation bar are more resources, parish ongoings, ways to get involved, talks about the mission trip, hopefully, that we're trying to bring back next year. So yes, the High School Religious Ed website is the hub for our program.
And then also we have our YouTube page, which you are all here right now. So make sure to subscribe, and it'll update you when we post anything. But we'll be using this as another, avenue for communicating during our partially virtual year. So we'll upload things there and share with you. Also, our St. Robert and Holy Family Religious Ed Facebook page here. This is actually K through high school, kindergarten through high school, so it's our whole program. But these are just religious ed specific updates that you might not find on the St. Robert Facebook page or the Holy Family Facebook page. And we're hoping, for more interaction from our families. I know a lot of students, especially in high school, don't have Facebook pages. So that's why we did create an Instagram here. We have, I think, about 3 subscribers or followers, my account included. So we could use some more student interaction on that website, on that app. And one thing to note is that we will not follow students back. So I know that, students might not want to follow us because they think we're going to, follow them back and see everything they post. We will not follow them back. It's a way for us to interact with them and for them to, to see our posts as they wish. Okay. So at the end of this page, it just goes over some more information on how to enroll. So there is a tab on our website that says registration for 2020-2021, and it will have our online registration or a paper form that you can print out and turn in to us. And then again, Aaliyah's contact information there. If you aren't enrolled yet, please do so soon. And so we can make sure that we get your students into a small group and get you your folder and a book ordered for you. So on page 3, it just kind of goes over, what the confirmation year is going to be like. So who is confirmation for? Teens enroll in religious ed if they want to ask questions, get answers, and grow in their faith. And our confirmation year is for any teen who wants to receive confirmation, even if they go to a Catholic high school. This is just, because it isn't provided in your high schools, and it's, an instruction from the Archdiocese that you must enroll in your home parish. So welcome to all of our private school kids who have never been in religious ed. I was in your spot too, so we're really, really excited to have you guys join us. Some of you have not attended 9th and 10th grade and haven't gone to a Catholic school, and that is totally fine as well. You can still get confirmed with us. Just let us know, so that way we can give you like the lessons and things to catch up on, so you're caught up with your classmates this year. So requirements for confirmation. It may seem like a lot, but don't worry, we will help you. So again, you should have participated in 9th and 10th if you didn't go to a Catholic high school, because Catholic high schoolers have theology classes in their curriculum. And then there's a list of requirements that have been put in place by the Archdiocese. So these include going to class, doing 10 service hours, and then attending a confirmation retreat. There's some other things that we'll go over a little bit later in the document. So what happens when you are confirmed? So in your baptism, you received certain graces. So in your confirmation, your Holy Spirit anoints you and stirs within you the graces that you received at baptism. God's grace enables you to persevere in your faith as a mature Catholic. As a confirmed Catholic, you commit to deepening your relationship with God, your community, the church, and others. Your confirmation is not a graduation of religious ed classes. It's more of a beginning of you taking your faith into your own hands and what you're going to do with that. So it's a big step. It's your choice. It's not your parents' choice or your grandparents' choice. And it's one of the most beautiful sacraments, I think, that we get to have, a sacrament of initiation. We just had our 2 confirmation ceremonies from last year's class this week, and it was, I got the Holy Spirit chills watching everyone get anointed with the chrism oil and receiving the Holy Spirit. So it's a really special gift that our church gives to us in the form of the sacrament. What to expect this year? It'll be different than last year, of course. Our lessons are going to be shared on the 1st of every month, and for confirmation, sometimes you'll have 2 lessons a month, so it'll be shared like on the 15th or in the half of the month. Students will meet twice a month in small groups on Sunday or Wednesday nights. I think most of our confirmation teens have signed up for Sunday nights. If you would like to be on Wednesday nights, make sure you let us know as soon as possible, because if we don't have enough for Wednesday nights, then we will likely not have a small group on that night. The same goes with meeting virtually. We want to make sure that everyone is safe, and we're not going to turn away anyone that doesn't want to meet in person. So we'll share a small group or virtual small group sign up with you in a little bit to make sure that you let us know if you would like to be in a virtual group, and we'll put you in one. We'll meet twice a month. Some months will be 2 small groups, and some months will be a small group and adoration. And we'll get to that a little bit later as well when we go over the calendar. We're going to be using Chosen. This is Your Catholic Faith, which is a program that we started last year. So teens who were in our program last year are familiar with it. And teens who are not, it's just, a great program that goes over all of our, church teachings, answers any questions that you may have before you get confirmed. And as well as attending classes, students are also required to attend a confirmation retreat. This year's retreat is planning to be at YMCA Camp Minneconne on February 5th through 7th. And it offers a great opportunity to dive into faith and learn more about the sacrament. And we'll have a little bit more on that as well. Outside of attending classes and the retreat, confirmation students will work on completing the following confirmation checklist. So we'll go over that in a second. If you miss a class, first of all, if you know in advance that you're not able to make it to one of the classes, please notify me or Aaliyah as soon as possible. Not your small group leaders, because they might not remember to let us know. It works better the other way if we know that you're not going to be here, and we can tell your small group leader, not that you aren't able to make it. Small group leaders will take attendance every meeting, so they'll let us know if you missed the class, and then we'll contact you with instructions for your makeup assignment. It'll likely be a writing assignment, just to make sure that you understand the lesson content, and we can, we're confident in moving on, that you're not, missing too much, and you're ready for your confirmation. Okay, next page. What is Edmodo? So Edmodo is the platform that we're going to be using for this year, because we have, half virtual, half in person. So Edmodo is like what we're going to be using to post our lessons, and then there'll be a short assignment to make sure that we, see that you are completing the lesson. So Edmodo is kind of like a Facebook page for your classroom. It's newsfeed style, so we can, interact with each other. And then parents are also welcome to join our Edmodo classroom, and we'll go over how to sign up for that in a little bit. The lessons, again, are released, on the first of every month, and then in the middle of the month. And they shouldn't take, more than 1 to 2 hours. But I would give them that amount of time, not 20 minutes before you meet in your small group. And we're hoping that parents will hold their students accountable when it comes to that. And then there'll be a small assignment or a quiz that we'll have you complete so we can track your progress. Our first lesson, since some of you may not have your books yet, will be photocopied so that everyone, can complete it before their first small group, and then we'll give you your books at your small group. And then if you are meeting virtually, we'll deliver them to your house. Okay, Aaliyah, do you want to go over this? I'm starting to lose my voice.
Yeah, definitely. So if you are returning for our 11th grade confirmation year, you are familiar with Chosen. This is your Catholic faith. Again, this year it will look a little different because we will be releasing the lesson at the first of the month, and then small group meetings twice throughout the month. But it's pretty much the same setup, moving through the selected lessons that are listed in the calendar that we will showcase with you all. If you are new to our program and new to the book, essentially, it's a great curriculum. As Caitlin said, we utilized it last year, and we're excited to continue with the same setup. So as you can see here, there are 24 lessons, and in our program, we've split them up throughout the 3 years. So instead of doing 24 lessons in 1 year, we do a few for the 9th grade year, following accordingly with the 10th grade year, and then hit more of the bigger points in the 11th confirmation year. Yeah.
Yep. And what's cool about Chosen as well is that there are videos along with it by some really great Catholic speakers. So it's not just the book, there's also a video aspect as well. So here is a picture of the student workbook. Actually, ours is not blue, it'll be red for confirmation year. And we'll make sure that everyone gets the book. So your students are expected to keep your workbooks from class to class. The first book is provided with your registration fee. Any replacements will be $20. If you were in our program last year, hopefully you still have your book. If you need a new one, please let us know and we'll order a new one for you. Okay. All right. So, the 11th grade confirmation checklist. This is going to be everything that we're going to be helping you guys get done this year in order to get confirmed. So first off, attend Mass every Sunday. We have set our class times to meet after the 5:30 Mass on Sundays at St. Robert's. So that's a good class to go to. You can get it all in one go. And we encourage you to participate in the sacrament of reconciliation as well and daily prayer. So next, participate in all confirmation classes. This includes the adoration. It's still a very important part of your faith and getting prepared for the sacrament. The next one is to serve at least 10 hours, including 5 hours of serving your parish of service. So examples of how to do that here is lectoring, serving, ushering, cantoring, or like helping clean after Mass. In a post-COVID environment, serving your parish would be like helping with childcare, helping with grade school religious ed, or CLO at the fish fry. But that is currently, all those things are on hold. So we'll make sure that we give you guys enough opportunities to serve your parish this year. If you were not baptized or didn't receive your first communion at Holy Family or St. Robert, we need a copy of your baptismal certificate by November 26th. Aaliyah, do you want to let them know how to do that?
Yeah, so if you are in contact with your student's baptismal parish, you can contact them and let them know, the name of your student, and they can send it to either of the parish offices here in the family handbook, or if you have your own copy, you can send it to us through email, a scanned or photocopy, and we'll print that out and put that in our records, or also a copy of that copy into either of the parish drop boxes as well. And this just helps us follow the ARCH guidelines. But if you had your student receive, baptism at Holy Family or St. Robert's, we will look through those registers to note that accordingly. And the reason that we collect these or make note of these is that after the confirmation ceremony, as I'll be doing next week, is we'll be sending out copies of the
certificate.
Yes, thank you. Copies of the confirmation certificates to the baptismal parishes to let them know that, they received this sacrament in their faith.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the way our parishes are structured is that every sacrament you receive, the records are kept at the parish that you are baptized at. So I don't know why that is. I mean, just so you can track your journey, I suppose, and so it's not confusing if you switch parishes. So that's why we need it. And please, by November 26th, this year we had, some that we were tracking down a few weeks before we were supposed to have our confirmation ceremony. So the sooner the better on those. The next thing is to choose a sponsor under the conditions of the sponsor guidelines and submit the form by November 15th. And we'll go over that form. It will be in your folder, and we'll go over that in a second. Next, to attend sponsor night. This is basically just, I think it'll be an adoration night, so it won't be a small group night. And we invite your sponsors to come, and we'll go over a little bit, have a special class with them, and getting prepared for your confirmation. Next is to choose a confirmation name and complete the name certificate. That is also due on the 15th, and we'll go over that as well because it is in your folder. Then it is write a letter of intent to the confirming archbishop or the bishop, whichever one will be doing our ceremony. And this is just, showing the bishops that you are choosing to get confirmed and you're asking him to confirm you. And we'll go over all the details. There's like a sheet that we'll hand out that shows you like how to write it and things like that. So that'll be a little in second semester. We'll share that with you. And then participate in the confirmation retreat. If you can't attend a retreat, you have to arrange another one by March 1st. Our permission slips for our retreat are due December 13th. And we haven't handed those out yet, but we will at one of the first classes. So you'll get all that information in a little bit. There is usually the Archdiocese compiles a list of other confirmation retreats that you are welcome on. So we'll get that list for you as soon as possible and share it with you if you can attend our retreat. And then all you need to do is just let us know that so we can check that off of their list, of their to-do list. Any other notes, Aaliyah?
The reason that we have a confirmation retreat is it's another way to foster community and growing faith in their confirmation year. And in the handbook, it explains why we have a retreat that is specifically focused on confirmation versus like a Kairos or a similar retreat that some high school programs design for themselves.
Right, and something exciting about this year is that we are putting on our own retreat. We're going to Camp Minneconne, but it's going to be, structured by us and planned by us. So it's going to be a great way for our small group leaders to get involved and, share a little bit more. And our pastor and associate pastor are definitely going to be joining us. And it's a fun time. We'll have games and activities and, alone time. So it'll be a great weekend.
Yeah. Last year when we went on retreat, Father Enrique was available to join us actually. And like Caitlin said, it's also a fun time. We were playing dodgeball and basketball. I think there was like an opportunity to go on an outdoor hike. Not too far, but just to experience the beauty of winter with the Lord.
And then, so next, complete a confirmation faith sharing interview. This will be done by a staff member, so me or Leah or either priest. And this is just another requirement, just to make sure that teens are choosing freely to be confirmed. And it's a small little interview. And we'll start scheduling those interviews in March. So some will take place during class time and some before and after class. Lastly, to attend the confirmation rehearsal, Sunday, May 9th at 7 p.m. This year, the rehearsal and the ceremony are going to be at St. Robert Parish. It's another thing that we alternate every year. This year was special because we split it up to keep numbers down, but it is St. Robert's turn this next year. So the rehearsal will probably be an hour and a half to 2 hours, just to go over what to do and what to say and where to sit and things like that. So both teens and their sponsor or a proxy must be in attendance that night.
To add to that, Caitlin touched on this for our last year that we just finished. We had a virtual rehearsal for them to watch a video instruction sheet. So if you'd like to see a sneak peek of that, you can also find that on this channel here in the videos. So in the event that we're not able to hold an in-person rehearsal, we'll have that similar video out as well. And the confirmation rehearsal is a great practice, so teens, their sponsor, or their proxy are more familiar with how the ceremony takes place.
Mm-hmm. And the video might also come in handy as well if your sponsor is, coming in from a long ways out of town and can't make the rehearsal. We'll make sure that they are still prepared for the confirmation ceremony. So next it says, plan to attend our confirmation on Tuesday, May 11th at 7 p.m. And everyone is welcome to join us. Hopefully we can have a full church that's also safe. But of course, if safety guidelines are still in place, we'll let you know. Plan to arrive early just so we can line up and prepare everyone. And then if you can't attend our confirmation, you have to arrange before March 1st to participate in another parish's confirmation. So similar to the retreat, we'll hopefully have a list of other confirmation dates available for you, and then you can reach out to that parish's youth minister or whomever and organize with them, and then you just let us know. Okay. Next page, Aaliyah's going to talk a little bit about your progress.
All right, so if you did sign up before September 15th, you recently received a red folder in your mailbox that has your student's name and their confirmation ID number underneath it. And this helps track the preparedness towards confirmation with all of the assignments and things that we just went over, like the confirmation saint name, whether you attended a retreat or not. It's kind of a lot to keep track of, so we have a monthly record on file on our website, and this can be found in the specific confirmation year tab, and you just scroll down until you come across the section that's titled Meeting Records, Forms, and Handbook. So that corresponds with your student's ID number. And this helps, track and verify if any forms are, on their way in the mail, or they were put at a small group bin and just were not fished out yet, and that way we can keep each other both accountable with that. To that point, 2 times throughout the year, we will share the confirmation preparedness progress reports to teens at their small group sessions, or email them or drop them off in the family mailbox. So the first time will be in December, prior to the holiday break, and then once again in February at sponsor night. So this will just ensure that everything is on track towards receiving the sacrament of confirmation per Archdiocese guidelines. And I do see a typo now that I'm staring at this page. It says once in December, 4/11 and 4/18. So I think we are all aware that that should be December 11th.
That's not April.
That's not April. But yes, so that.
And that's also in our calendar as well.
Yes. And if you were not able to receive a folder yet, those will be available soon for pickup again at either parish office. So there shouldn't be anything to track in the first few months. But just so you are aware, that's how we keep a record of everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so again, confirmation teens are expected to complete 10 hours minimum for confirmation, and 5 of them have to be serve your parish. The other 5 can be serve your community or school, or your parish again. And that just makes sure that, as you become an adult in our parish, that you are serving it as a parish member. That's just what we do. So serve your parish. We have a few ideas for you, a few suggestions that are COVID safe in our current times. Each after each Mass, the pews have to be cleaned. So if you're able to help with that, we could chalk it off as a half hour of service. And we might not be there to hold you accountable, so your parents might have to sign off on that one. We also will likely have, a need for office help when we prep for the confirmation ceremony. This past couple weeks, we did a lot of stapling and folding and printing things that we would love to have some help with this upcoming year. As well as office preparations for First Reconciliation and First Communion. And that will put you in touch with Betsy Deacon. Let me pull up the next page here. So her contact information is there as well. Another great thing that you can do easily during COVID, and especially now since a lot of our volunteer base is over 65 and it's not quite as safe for them to volunteer at church, is to serve as an usher or a lector or an altar server. I know some of you probably were altar servers in grade school, and you are still welcome to help out. I know they really need them. So the contact information, if you would like to help out, is Holy Family, contact Larry, or at St. Robert, contact Debbie. You are also welcome to be a cantor or singing in a choir. I think choirs right now aren't allowed due to the COVID guidelines, but you can definitely cantor or help sing at Mass. You can help the environment team decorate the church for holidays, or take down the decorations. And then lastly, to help garden in the spring or keep the grounds at our churches. So one thing to note is the Holy Family contact information, Dennis Schaefer. He actually just retired this year, so if you would like to help out, just reach out to the main office at Holy Family. Another fun thing is actually right now we have some training dates upcoming for ushering, lecturing, and serving at Mass. Or not ushering yet, but hopefully soon. And Father Andrew is going to be leading those. So we really encourage our confirmation teams to go to that, to be trained correctly, especially during COVID. And they are going to be taking place Thursday, October 8th at 6:30 at Holy Family, and Saturday, October 10th, 9 a.m. at St. Robert's for lecturing, and then Eucharistic ministering October 29th, 6:30 at Holy Family, and Saturday, October 31st, 9 a.m. at St. Robert's. So if you have any questions about those, feel free to reach out to us or to Father Andrew as well. Okay, back to this page. So you can also serve your community with your service hours. We have some COVID safe service ideas for you here. You can, rake leaves, shovel the driveway for your neighbors, pick up litter at the park, beach, or neighborhood. I'm sure you have plenty other great and creative ideas. If you are working independently, we ask for the parents to just hold the students accountable and approve the correct number of hours when completing the service sheet. We will also do service opportunities through our program this year, and we're hopefully going to have a clothing drive. We're going to make Christmas cards for the sick and homebound parishioners. We're going to be filling hygiene bags for Capuchin Community Services and filling food boxes for the House of House of Peace. Sorry about that. And another one is to build snowmen outside of nursing homes and hospitals. And that'll be a fun little service opportunity to bring joy. There's also the option to find your own service opportunities. So there's, tons of opportunities in the community, and I'm sure through your school as well. Some of these places that we have here might not be asking for volunteers during COVID, but I'm sure you could reach out and ask around and find a place.
Yes, so we always encourage our students to do service as they are able to. And we also know that some high schools require their students to perform service as well. And we do welcome the doubling up of service hours. So if your high school class asks you to do 5 hours doing a service opportunity, you can also share that with us and it will count for the same amount.
Yes, so here is an example of the service hour sheet. We have included 3 in your folder, and we'll definitely have many more in class, and also I think they're available on the website. So these will be what you fill out for your service opportunity, your service activity to turn in. And again, total number of hours. Make sure to be honest with that. And yes, Aaliyah, go ahead.
Yeah, so as we're talking about the service hour sheet where it says total number of hours, feel free to write the start time and the end time, and then we'll be recording it on a timesheet clock. So if you started at 3 p.m. and you finished at 4:30, that would technically be an hour and a half of service. So we follow the 25, 50, 75 timing. A question that we get every year is what's the difference between serve your parish ministry or serve your community, which is the mission. And just as we kind of touched on previously, is that anything that directly helps out at the parish is serve your parish, like lecturing, cantoring, cleaning the church, things like that, versus doing external service events like the card making or snowman building will technically fall under serve your community. And then just a reminder that serving your parish has to be at least 5 hours, and then the remainder can be, the other 5 can be serve your community, or you can do all 10 serve your parish hours. And we definitely encourage as much service as your schedule allows you to.
Thanks, Aaliyah. And then again here, the adult supervisor name. So you do need to get a signature from whoever is supervising the service. And then again, if you're working independently, your parent can sign for you. And then also local service events we might share as they share with us in our weekly email. So we'll keep you updated as we receive those. Next is a little bit of some information on why do I have to go on a confirmation retreat. We kind of touched on this, but please make sure you read it through. We're not going to just read word for word here. It might be kind of boring, but It is required by the Milwaukee Archdiocese. So that's why we have it, and that's why we provide one for you. So again, our retreat, more details will be sent out soon as far as like times, specific times, and permission slips. But right now, the plan is to be 2 nights at Camp Minneconne, and we'll have speakers, discussion, small groups, games, team building, adoration, and community time. And the cost is $90 per person. That covers the fee, the food, and the transportation. All right, next we have COVID safety information. So this just pertains to where we're at and for people who are going to be joining us in person this year. So obviously safety and health is the top priority for our students, our volunteers, and their families. So as things change, please be patient, and we'll definitely be updating you as we know things change, and are things that are put in place by the Archdiocese. We're following their Catholic comeback matrix. So as of September 2020, we're in phase 2. So I just kind of put together what this means for youth ministry this year. Obviously, face coverings are still required, and that's, a state order. So as long as that is in place, we will also require face coverings if you're meeting in person. Group gatherings have to be less than 50, so this is why, we can't be all together as a confirmation class. We have to meet in small groups. So again, we'll offer at least one virtual small group for each grade. Retreats right now are not allowed to be overnight. So we're still planning for our retreat to be overnight, but if that changes, we'll convert it to a day retreat only, and we'll obviously reduce the price as well. So we'll keep you guys updated on that. And then lastly, some optional youth ministry events are currently on hold. These are things like, movie nights, other gatherings that are more for community building. But we'll likely attempt a few outdoor gatherings in the winter, ice skating, sledding, and these are for any high school teens. It could be people who are already confirmed in 12th grade, or students in 9th and 10th grade who go to a Catholic school. This is just for community, and it's not part of class. So everyone is welcome. Lastly, we are going to be asking that you fill out a COVID consent form if you're joining us in person. These are in your folder if you have the folder. If not, we can definitely, obviously, include it in your folder when we give it to you or send it to you over email. And this is just something that's put in place by the Archdiocese. So if you're joining us in person, we can't allow you to join us until we have that paper in our hands. So send it with your kids the first class. If you're joining us virtually, you don't need to hand one in. And I'll show it to you real quick. This is what it looks like. And it's just making sure that we have permission to meet in person, knowing the risk of COVID. Oops, okay. So next in the handbook is what you agreed to as a confirmation parent. And this just, asks for parents to be active in your teen's confirmation prep, to attend Mass every Sunday and be an example of a confirmed Catholic. make sure to ask them questions, keep them accountable on their lessons. And of course, if you have any questions or want to deepen your faith, make sure to check out, options that are put on by our parish for small groups or different ways to grow your faith. Lastly, something that's not in here is that we always welcome volunteers, especially right now since there's not much going on. We would love to have parents volunteer as small group substitutes. And this would just be, if one of our small group leaders can't make class, it would just be filling in for them. You wouldn't be by yourself. You would be with a small group partner, and the questions will be provided beforehand. So it's not too difficult. It's just leading a discussion with a group of teens, and it's kind of fun. I don't know, you get to hang out with them. And so if you are willing to help us out on that, we would really, really appreciate it. And just email us to let us know. Okay, next is what you agreed to as a confirmation student. So this is to be prepared to watch the lessons online well in advance of your small group, not 20 minutes beforehand. You can do that when you get to college, but not now, not for us. Just a reminder, we can track your progress through Edmodo. When you come to small group, bring your chosen book and a mask, also a personal Bible. We do have some Bibles, but not enough for everyone to have one. So it's best to bring your own, one that you can write in if you would like to. And also a pen, a pencil, highlighter, and a notebook and a journal to take down some extra notes. Yes.
Like if you happen to really connect with anything during the lesson or during your small group discussion, you can jot it down. Or if you have a question that you maybe want to ask later at a later time, definitely helpful to have with you.
Come to all small group classes, so this includes even the adoration ones that are only for an hour. Be on time, 7 to 8:30 p.m. on Sundays, and 6:30 to 8 p.m. on Wednesdays. Again, I don't know if we have many signed up for Wednesday nights. So if you signed up for solely a Wednesday night and we don't have enough for a small group, we'll let you know about that. Participate in the small groups, ask questions, answer questions, get to know someone that you don't know. You might be paired up with someone from a different parish or someone you've never met before. Make sure to go to Mass and participate in some special challenges online. We'll have some challenges that we can post on Edmodo, like we'll do a costume contest or a snowman building competition and things like that. So the next couple pages are frequently asked questions. We're not going to go over those in detail right now, but please make sure that you read through them in case there's any questions that you had. And if any of the questions here didn't answer your question, please reach out to us and let us know. We're going to keep moving on. This final page in the handbook is just a page of resources for both teens and parents, some good Spotify playlists, podcasts, websites, and books, I believe, towards the end there. Awesome. Okay, so the next thing we're going to go over real quick is just our calendar. So as you can see, here is the first semester. We have our first lesson being released on October 1st, and it has the lesson numbers. So some lessons are 2 lessons put together, but we'll make sure that it's not double the time of work, that we condense it into 1 to 2 hours as promised. And then we have the first small groups here. Some of the lessons we skip around the numbers, so it might be, it doesn't go lesson 1, 2, 3, 4. So just make sure that you keep track of that. And then again, we have some due dates here and our assignments that we'll share with you. And then again, adoration every couple months we'll have for an hour. And then, I forgot to mention, our first semester we will meet at St. Robert. So every class, every adoration, every small group is going to be at St. Robert. Second semester will be at Holy Family. So when you come to St. Robert the first night, we'll show you to each of your meeting spots, and then you'll meet there for the rest of your small groups. And again, the adoration is just as important as class, and it's easy to space out. So even if you're in a virtual small group, I really, really encourage you to join us for adoration. This time of prayer is going to be vital to a contemplative heart in preparing for confirmation. If you do miss adoration, you're going to get an assignment just like you would any other class that is missed. And we'll likely have confession available during those hours as well, but it just all depends on the priest availability.
So keep this class calendar somewhere handy. If not in your folder, maybe on the fridge or a bulletin board somewhere where it's easily accessible. It provides a good snapshot of the year ahead, and it's pretty nice to look at, I think. It gives a nice overview of what the plan will be. And in the event that, it does get misplaced, we'll have it on the website as well. So it'll be a reference point to look at.
Correct. Awesome. Okay, so next is, sorry about that. It's up from our last group. So this is what Edmodo is going to look like. Obviously it says 9th grade here, but yours will say 11th grade and it'll be red. And it looks a little bit like Facebook would. There's a news feed here, and you can start a discussion, share things, ask questions, make posts. And then over here is where your assignments and your quizzes are going to be too. This is where you will find all of your lessons, and make sure that you get things done during the month. To sign up, here's the sign up information. So for 11th grade confirmation, here we are. This is your sign up code. So to sign up, you have to go to edmodo.com and click on Get Started as a Student, and then you can use this class code to make sure that you get into our class. And parents, you're definitely more than welcome to join as well. You'll be able to view our Edmodo classroom. You won't be able to post anything, but you can also, keep track of assignments and things like that. So you can, same thing, go to edmodo.com, get started as a parent, follow the instructions to create an account, and then when prompted, it'll enter your student's parent code. Now this is cut off, and I cannot find a version of this where it's not cut off, but I'm assuming your parent code is going to be on the bottom left corner of your student's classroom page. If any parent, figures this out, let me know, and I can share with everyone else. But I think your student has to have a page first before you can create your account as a parent. So hopefully we can get you on there, and I will keep searching for a version of this document that doesn't have that cut off. Okay, next, as promised, we will have virtual small group option. So we have a link for you to fill out if you would like to join us. If you don't want to do a virtual small group, don't worry about signing up. We'll put you in an in-person one. But if you would like to do this, please fill out the form by next Sunday. This will just help us to assign the small group to our small group leaders, which we're meeting with next Sunday. So there is the form, and all you need to do is fill out the name, grade, and then an email that we can use for the video platform that they're going to be meeting on. Anything else?
For this? No.
Okay. Okay. So, the other thing that is in your folder will be your sponsor form. So this is, as we mentioned, one of the parts of getting ready for confirmation is choosing a sponsor. So make sure that you read through this form and fill it out. You have to choose a sponsor who has received the sacraments of baptism, confirmation, and Eucharist, and is 16 years or older. Someone who's a great role model in the faith, and that you want to be kind of a mentor to you as a confirmation candidate. Unfortunately, your parents cannot be your sponsors, but your grandparents, aunts and uncles, family, friends can be. So you need to give this to your sponsor to fill out. If they're not, in the area, you can email it to them. We can give you a digital copy. And if you can't get their signature in time for the due date, that is okay. We'll make sure that we get it to you.
Right, so following that, just to add on and add a little more detail, your sponsor is someone who you should be able to go to for questions surrounding the faith. If you want to discuss the lessons with them as well, someone as key model for your faith and for your life. Yeah.
And again, this is due on November 15th. So that'll be the first small group meeting in November. Also due that day is the confirmation name certificate. So this will be who you choose to take as your name to be confirmed. And it's in addition to your name at baptism. So you can read here kind of the history of why we choose a confirmation name and what you want it to be. Confirmation names are taken after the saints. So there's a searchable list of saints available for you to look at and kind of research a little bit. Personally, my saint is Saint Cecilia, and she's the patron saint of music, and that's why I chose her. So make sure it's something special to you, because it is a name that you'll carry with you for the rest of your life. So to fill out the form, just put your baptismal name, so your first name, your middle name, and your last name, and then the name of the saint that you choose. And you'll include this in your letter to the bishop as well about why you're choosing that name. There's a bit more on the back of some questions that you'll be able to answer in your letter of intent to the bishop, and also they might ask you during the ceremony why you chose that name.
One thing to add on with the confirmation saint name is a number of our students, if they are already named after a saint, is they elect to keep their baptismal name. So if you do want to follow this option in this form here, just make a note of that in that second line. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. It's very common, actually. We've had, this past week, we had a few people choose saints with the same name as your first name. So it's definitely welcome. And it doesn't have to be the same gender either. If you are a female, you can choose St. Peter. If you're a male, you can choose St. Cecilia or St. Anne. It does not matter. Next, we just want to share a little bit of how we communicate. So Aaliyah's going to talk a little bit about that.
All right, so if you are joining us again for the confirmation year, you might be familiar with both of these. Remind is a text messaging app that allows us to occasionally message either your student or yourself, depending on the group that you're in. So in the coming weeks prior to our first class, I'll be sending an invitation out to the phone numbers from your registration form. This will depend on who elected to share their phone number and to whom it would go to, either the mother guardian or the father guardian, and whether we have permission to text your student as well. There are 4 groups, one for 9th and 10th grade students, one for the 11th confirmation year, and then the respective ones for parents and guardians as well. Similarly, we utilize the MailChimp platform to send class mailers every week. And these will also be going to the email addresses and preferences that were submitted at registration. They will be going to 2 respective lists, one for 9th and 10th grade and the other for the 11th/confirmation year. And in these class mailers, they're a little more in-depth and provide more details and increased events and service opportunities that are shared with us or that we plan as a program or in the parishes or in the local community. So yeah, just be aware that these will be coming out soon. And I had another point and
if you are not receiving them,
yes, thank you.
Check your spam folder, or sometimes they go to the promotion folder as well.
Yes, and if they happen to not come your way at all for whatever technology reasons, please let us know and we will remedy that, either forwarding that immediate copy to an email address and then looking at the back end of the server to see what went wrong. Maybe it was a typo or something like that. So I can't really stress how important these 2 platforms are. So.
Okay, and then our last thing that we're going, actually a few more things, sorry. Also in your folder is the confirmation form due dates. This is just kind of a cheat sheet that we printed out for you guys to know when everything is due and when to expect it. So make sure that you also post this up somewhere or, have it somewhere easy to find in case you need to know when something is due. Okay, now our last thing is this next summer, hopefully, if everything goes well and it's safe to travel and go to places, we are going to offer a few really awesome options for teens to join us. So the first one is the Stevenville Conference in St. Paul, Minnesota, the last weekend of July. And this is just like a great conference that has a lot of speakers, a lot of, they have a live band, they have Eucharistic adoration, reconciliation. I used to go to these in high school. I think I've been to, probably like 8. And they're really life-changing. And I don't know exactly how to explain it, but it's a really great opportunity. And I really encourage your teens to consider joining us for this. Registration isn't open yet, but when it does, we'll make sure to share that information with you, as well as the price and all of the safety details. And then as well, hopefully we can have our 2021 mission trip. If it's safe enough, we're going to be going through Alive in You, and they have not released their trips for summer 2021 yet. So once they do, we'll narrow it down for a few options, and we'll have the teens kind of choose which one they want to go on. And this will be a week-long, I think, 5 to 6 days, likely out of state trip for service. So this is another great opportunity. I know it's been a long-standing tradition for Holy Family Parish, and St. Robert Parish now has been joining the last couple years, and we weren't able to do it this past year, so I'm excited and I'm looking forward to having that. And so stay tuned for that information as well in our mailers and on our website. So that's a lot of information and a lot of talking at you and not seeing your face and things like that. But we hope this helped. If you have any questions, please go ahead and submit them in the live chat. We'll stay here for a few minutes. If you don't have any questions, feel free to go. Thank you for joining us, and I look forward to meeting you all somehow, some way, someday. Especially the teens. I'm looking forward to meeting you guys. Some of you we had last year, so I'm looking forward to seeing you again. And hopefully we went over everything pretty well in detail. No one is submitting any questions live. If you have any other questions at all, please feel free to reach out in an email to us. Because I know that you have to have a channel or a user to submit in the live chat. So sorry about that. I was unaware of that until now. So hopefully you can reach us and we'll get back to you as soon as possible and in as much detail as possible. So anything else, Aaliyah?
No, just, like Caitlin said, when you have another free moment to browse through the handbook and any of the forms, and if there's anything that doesn't make sense or you just need a little more clarification, please feel free to reach out to either of us, and we will respond as soon as possible and make sure that everyone is on the same page. I also am excited about what we are able to do this year to, further build our community in the body of Christ, either, in person safely or virtually, to see our returning students and welcome our new students. Definitely some flexibility and patience throughout this year, but I think we can do it.
Yeah. And make sure too, if you're not registered, to register as soon as possible. Some names have been shared as small group requests that aren't registered yet, so make sure to tell your friends that they need to start registering before class begins. So I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for everything, and we're excited to start the year finally. So have a good night, everyone. Oh, I gotta pee so bad.